Rashmi and Anand and Kumar. I did both. So I was really happy. Apart from obviously my native place, which is Bihar. So besides NCT of Delhi, the kind of experiences which I probably always reflect upon, draws from what I've seen across the country, be it Bihar or Uttar Pradesh, where I could, again, see quite a few, learnings, especially women-led business. So I will try and bring that canvas, but before that, I would be failing my duty if I don't thank the organizers and I don't compliment them for having organized this wonderful summit, which for me it was a surprise when Abhishek Kumarji and Ashokji, when they came and invited me, and also having brought the best of minds probably in the country, representing the kind of experience which is very, very important for the entrepreneurs today and also those in the policy making arena today. So when I heard about this, I was really happy, and the Bharat Entrepreneurship Summit being the fourth, and that kind of brings me hope. I can't see Abhishekji. Where is Abhishekji? Abhishekji cannot be seen right now. So that really kind of gives me hope that so much of promise lies in people's own ability to bring together the various stakeholders which are so critical to bringing and making the kind of ecosystem which Dr. Patra just spoke about. Because the kind of ecosystem, the spectrum which he introduced us to, taking us from various state to state practices, good practices, it's all about actually building, a climate, of building an environment, where entrepreneurship can flourish. And especially in this particular panel, when I talk about women enterprise, women entrepreneurship, and some of the good practices in the country and outside the country both. So, for women in particular, the ecosystem is something which holds more of, critical nuances than what meets the eye. Why I say it? Even today, for example, when there were people coming on the stage to get the awards, now how many women did we notice who came up on the stage? 20%? So, but I'm still glad that there were 20% who were women entrepreneurs, who were awarded for having braved all the odds, for having not only broken a lot of gender stereotyping, probably, when I say gender stereotyping, there are many social practices which probably preclude the entry of women into this entrepreneurial competitive, climate, and yet you made it. So my heartiest congratulations to many, many women who made it here. With the hope that next time, the 5th Entrepreneurship Summit will have 50% of women who will come up on the stage to receive the prizes. And lot depends upon us, who are successful in our own way in terms of having come here to receive the award and how much you are able to disseminate. What is it which took you to come up here? So sharing those stories is very, very important. Now for me to share some of the stories which I thought would be relevant. Say a place like Anand and Nicobar Island. Now there are women who were into looking for opportunities without actually looking at a lot of local resources where there were plenty of opportunity. For example, coconut itself. Now there were women entrepreneurs at that point of time as secondary industries that we happened to have confidence to work with, and they could start manufacturing units of virgin coconut oil. So there was again a huge demand, a huge market waiting to get tapped, but women who would not otherwise come forward to realize that there are opportunities galore, right in their own milieu. Or for that matter, calling a set of trainers from Mumbai. I remember it was a very interesting project, and supported by the Government of India under innovative practices. And the trainers came, looked at all the natural resources around, and women can turn the coconut shells which were lying all around into beautiful jewelry, into beautiful decor. And even today, when you go to Sagarika, which is like our industry, there runs this cottage emporium called Sagarika here at Babakad Singh Marg. So those products also started making entry to Sagarika. Or opening up a Sagarika outlet at, say, the famous Havelock Island. So opening it up there. So I realized from my experience that a little bit of stimuli from the government, that is indeed important if we have to take these good practices to scale, if we have to take the potential up in terms of, actually being able to unleash the local potential, little bit of stimuli from the government, because we have from the parliament represented here, Dr. Patra. So I think as a policy, very important, even when we talk about the women's collective, like you spoke about Vishin Shakti, or for that matter, when you look at the number of women's collectives all over the country today, look at the huge number, maybe 10 crores or so. So this huge number, they are out there, out to do women-led business, many of them very successful, but many of them probably needing little stimuli in terms of policy support. For example, the normal tender, women are often not able to, these self-help groups, not able to compete. So in some of the good practices that we find, in states like Kerala, they had policy defined where women-led small business could be factored into, say, healthcare, early childhood care, midday meal, Anganwadi services. Now, food is a good business, traditionally so, for women. And as the former UP Chief Secretary said, agri business. So where does agri business also lead to? Maybe a lot of value addition possible in food itself. Now, turning that art, which has traditionally been known to be women's forte, into business where opportunity lies not just in India but globally. How? By maintaining good quality. How? By maintaining, knowing how to brand, knowing how to come up with a story. So all these things, there are umpteen opportunities for women. Number two is also, when we say healthcare, it's also beauty care, beauty and wellness. So there again, I saw that a lot of opportunity waiting to get tapped. In my own experience, in Delhi itself, Delhi Secretariat, the canteen, which was being run by some corporates before, we tried a new model of Istri Shakti canteen, given to a group of women to run it. And in no time, it was a turnaround story. And there were people who would come from far off places, to ask more women group to start doing their canteens. And this is something, whether in JNK, or in Uttar Pradesh, where I was leading an organization called Akansha, which is the UP IAS Officers Wife Association. So from Akansha, we could go district to district, looking for these kinds of small business opportunities. And so many places, the district magistrate, the DC complexes, there are so many, public, जहाँ पे जनता की सुनवाई के लिए दिन भर लोग आते हैं, तो अपॉर्चुनिटी इतना था कि वहाँ भी हम लोगों ने महिलाओं का कैफे, आकांक्षा स्टोर, इस तरह की चीजों को खुलवाया। आकांक्षा मसाला बहुत फेमस है, लखनऊ कोई जाएगा तो वहाँ पे अभी भी जो लोग लखनऊ से आए हैं तो वो अभी वहाँ जाते हैं, उत्तर प्रदेश के जो ऑफिसर्स हैं उनकी वाइफ्स भी जाती हैं कि हम तो वहीं की चीजें खरीदेंगे घर घर तक। जब उत्तर प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री जी को हम लोग आकांक्षा हाट के लिए इनवाइट करने गए तो उन्होंने कहा कि आकांक्षा में जो मसाला बनता है या जो नमकीन बनता है, मठरी बनता है, वो यहाँ तक हमारे जो मुख्यमंत्री आवास पे जितने लोग दिन भर मिलने आते हैं वहां भी वो चीज आती है। सिमिलर दिल्ली में ये जो कैंटीन है, स्त्री शक्ति कैंटीन, इसको देख करके पुलिस कमिश्नर हेडक्वार्टर वहां से भी लोग आए, 3 मूर्ति से भी लोग आए कि हम भी विमेन लेड कैंटीन स्टार्ट करेंगे। केरल का जो एग्जाम्पल की मैं बात कर रही थी, मैं खुद देखने गई, कुडुम्श्री, वी आर ऑल फैमिलियर कि कुडुम्श्री इज लाइक विमेन लेड बिजनेस, बट इन वेरियस काइंड्स ऑफ portfolios, including waste management. Now, म्यूनिसिपल बॉडी से वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट जब महिलाएं लेती है, सफाई भी होती है और साथ ही साथ जो है उनकी आर्थिक उन्नति के लिए बहुत सारी चीजें उसी से निकल करके आती है। इंदौर आपने सुना होगा, इंदौर इज अ गुड मॉडल, द क्लीनेस्ट सिटी। नाउ हाउ डज इट बिकम क्लीन? Not by just giving a mechanical contract to huge large vendors, but it's small set of small business opportunity being seen by a lot of women in waste segregation, and after having done the waste segregation, also being able to market the same. So the revenue which comes is from the marketing, something like a waste. So why I'm giving these examples is, the opportunities which are there may be getting utilized, used by large set of women, but when we look at the entire gamut which is there, especially rural India, I'm sure that it's, huge untapped wealth which is lying there to be turned from story to rags to riches. Why I use the word story? Now, one of the international examples, Grand Canyon, I don't know how many have been to. On the way, I just stopped at a place with a beautiful board with a set of women who were selling jewelry. Local jewelry, but it came with a story. Why? Because it was a set of indigenous women. वहाँ पे local जो tribal women, वो उस ज्वेलरी को बना रही थी, और जो हम $1 का उसका वर्थ होगा, वो $20 में बेच रही थी। वो मैंने उसको खरीदा $20 में, क्यों? क्योंकि कहानी के साथ थी। Now women, we remember our grannies telling us stories. So women are very good at, conveying, communicating stories generation by generation. So those oral traditions getting documented into a business enterprise. So because that jewelry came with a story, I bought that. So that again is a huge opportunity. I find that women's making, amazing products, be it in Jammu and Kashmir. I was the principal resident commissioner for Jammu and Kashmir here in Delhi, where we started a practice called, it was a heart, Sambhav Heart. Now in that heart, calling women from Pulwama, Doda, Kupwara, name it, all the very, very different places, and where women would normally not get an opportunity to be able to tell their story, they were called. And I tell you, they got such a good market, not just for those 10 days that they were there, but huge networks and connections, which opened up huge markets for them in times to come. Why? Because it came with a story. Pashmina, Ari work, your Kani work. Now, how does it get done? How much time does it take? How tedious it is? How do you differentiate between a machine-made thing and something which is handmade? I'm really glad organizers have chosen something hand-painted from Madhubani, which many of us got right now. So, it comes with a story again. So, I will end now. Having said about these positive things, there are challenges, ecosystem, unless it is holistic, in terms of looking at what is becoming a barrier. Is it the transport? Is it the safety? Is it access to credit? Is it the need for a network, a supportive network? Like you have these associations. You have associations which are, actually able to help women business to grow. Whether we have like Ficky Lady organization, but maybe more elitist in terms of the access which many other women who are struggling out there would need. So the need for networks, the need for social capital, the need for working capital, the need for seed capital, the need to be able to access the market using the emerging technological opportunities which are there now, through e-commerce. So there are all these huge opportunities which are there. At the same time, some of the policies to build our ecosystem also requires enabling mechanism like having more creches. I'm happy to say that in my present Act of Women and Child, these are some of the things that we are also seeing. Can we have more creches for working women, for women who would like to put the children, into safe places, then be able to work, or more working women hostel. So these are some of the things based on which I am proud to say that in Viksit Bharat, the women-led development, which is a huge promise, will all be possible if we collectively work towards it. Thank you.